Who's better than Levert without naming Kyrie and Kevin Durant in the Brooklyn Nets roster right now?
On the Brooklyn Nets roster?
Right now, who's better than Levert right now?
Ben Simmons.
Okay.
You're now tuned in to Straight Facts, where you won't hear our imagination. We state facts. Presented by Currency, Supreme Entertainment.
Back at it again, baby. You already know, gang. Straight Facts for another episode, and we have our man Fletcher G in the building. How are you, my man?
I'm not too bad, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I can't complain. You know, it's another nice day. So, my man,
Yes.
talk to us about yourself. What got you motivated into creating music?
Actually, my mom did. When I was young, she was a French poet. She did a lot of work in Haiti. She did a lot of work politics-wise for black and minority women in the city. So if you came to Ottawa and you didn't know English, she taught you English, taught you French. If you didn't know French, taught you how to sew. And she did poems at all of her events. And so as a kid growing up seeing that, I learned how to be on stage. I learned how to write poetry. I got published by the time I was in grade 12.
Oh, really? Okay, that's
Yeah, same with my sister out of Colonel By. We all got published as poets. And so that really shaped me into like getting my sound and having a voice. And when
your
I
environment essentially shaped you overall.
Like literally, my hood's like 2 seconds away from me. I grew up in these neck of the woods, so all the things that happen, like I used to see hookers jumping into random people's cars at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, going to the corner store. My barber was right here. Go see the barber and seeing all this messed up shit as a kid, and watching what my mom was trying to provide for us, and being a poet and using your words to create an image and tell a story was really what helped me develop myself into making music.
Develop your own sound as well.
Yeah.
You know, it shapes you overall as a person, right? So
Yeah.
going on base with your environment, I would say, you know, with your mom being so rooted in the community, you know, it definitely must have helped out overall. So that's a big bonus, man. That's a good thing. So with one of your songs, you know, we have your song's Thoughts. You talk about family. Why did you decide to put it on wax? Overall? Talk to us about the song.
So Thoughts is basically a story about my mom, a story about my dead brother that died right around the corner from here, and a story about my father. So the middle verse is for my father. He wasn't there. He did something to my family, and one of my family members took it very hard, and they killed themselves for it. And then he dipped and never came back. And I was just like, you don't get to see the man I become. You don't get to watch your grandchildren. You don't get to see any of that. All this money that I'm going to be making, all this, whatever I'm doing with my life, you have no part of that. There's the only thing that I carried on from you. That's what I'm saying is a last name, and even then, the next generation that I'm building up don't even have that. I treat like loyalty is the only thing. I mean, if you ain't there, you can't get to where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? If you ride with me from the beginning, then I'm going to treat you like royalty. I'm going to show loyalty. And that's what that song was. My mom's been there, and I talk about it, and she had a stroke when I was 17, so I talk about that in the song. I talk about my dad in the song. I talk about how my dead brother kept me alive when I was a kid in the song as well. So that's why I decided to put it on blast. I was like, at a point in time, you have to let it all out. And if your fans don't know who you are, then
how are they going to connect with your music, right? So it's a personal way of getting into knowing who you are as a person, right?
Yeah.
So knowing where you came from and how, again, your environment essentially shaped you overall.
Yeah.
So it's very deep stuff, definitely, man. It's a good thing. Thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem, man.
Honestly. So, out of all of your music, if you had to pick one song out of all of them, what would you say would be your most favorite music video that you've had?
Oh, Midnight Coke Walks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've had most fun doing that one?
Well, the story behind it is I had my boy from Toronto come down. We did the video downtown Ottawa. And we just came back from dinner at Blue Cactus. We're like, it's a weird song. It's a love song, but it's talking about Coke, right?
Yeah.
So the aspect of it is, we're walking, we're doing the thing on Mackenzie Bridge, and people are like vibing to it. And then all of a sudden, it gets to the hook, and they're like, Midnight Coke Walks, and people are like, huh? huh? Like, am I supposed to like this? Am I not? And that's the idea of it, is we take everything too seriously.
Yeah.
And that's one of like,
That's
one of my main things I like to do as an artist. I'm gonna take something that means something and flip it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, I love this, but I don't. Like, is he talking about coke? Is he talking about a love story? It's a struggle, right? We can all relate.
Controversial,
Yeah.
essentially.
It's a low key, like, if you really listen, you're gonna get the whole idea. It's a love story about a girl.
Yeah.
And then if you just listen to the lyrics, you're gonna be like, and that's it, right? So I wanted people who don't listen, they're gonna enjoy it, and people who actually do listen and get the deeper meaning, they're gonna be like, I know, I can relate.
I can relate,
Yeah.
which is what we need from our audience, right? So
That's what you want. You want to connect on some level, and I want my fans and people that are gonna follow me to be like deep into the music with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, so out of all of the artists that we can talk about, who's your biggest inspiration?
Oh God.
Who shaped you the most in creating music?
It's like a 50-50 split, because I do pop, right? So Michael Jackson and Kanye West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a bit of that Kanye ego
Yeah.
when I get on my shit. So like Ball, I did a song called Ball on my Escape EP, and that's me talking my shit. That's me on my Kanye vibe. I did Midnight Coat Walks. It's me on my 808s and Heartbreak type vibe.
Yeah.
Kanye West. You know, College Dropout and Late Registration is one of my favorite albums. You can't. I know from Late Registration from top to bottom. I know everything. I listen to that religiously still to this day, and that's why like my
A
music.
lot of diversity, essentially.
Yeah.
You gotta tap into.
To everything and anything, except for country. I don't do that shit. I don't do that
It's
shit.
not for us, man. It's not
No.
for straight facts, right?
Yeah, no.
All right, man. So what do we gotta look out for you, man?
I just released a single 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago called Let Me Go. It's more of like on a pop type of like Caribbean vibe. That's just a single I'm releasing. I'm coming out with the EP coming out in around June, July. And that's going to be more like ballads. I wanted to try something different. So every year I tried a new EP, something different. So no, it's about my mental health, which was my whole EP series, and this one's the last one. And it's a development of what I'm trying genre-wise.
Yeah.
So like there was mostly hip-hop. So I had Dip Black and Heavy on the first one. And then I had barely any features on my second one. I had Queenie and Flash Miller out of Toronto on Escape. And it was more rap. And I did maybe one song that was like a bit pop R&B. And this one I was just like, let me dive deep into it. I can sing, I can rap. So I might as well give the people everything and enjoy the story about my mental health during COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Which is important. Mental
Right?
health.
A lot of people don't talk about it, but like, look at having a Kanye. He went crazy because people weren't listening.
Yeah, you gotta talk about it.
Right?
So, as I said, if you're experiencing something, then other people might be too. So.
But we all enjoy it. I'm not gonna say I don't enjoy Kanye going crazy because he makes great music.
It's controversial,
Right?
right?
So it's what the people want, and I feel like nowadays artists don't tap into that. It's
Yeah.
more party songs. I don't understand what's going on with Future too. Like,
Yeah.
since he did the verse, nobody does slow. Oh, I stopped listening to him.
Yeah, Future has a simping problem. It's just different, you know.
Right.
It's not for us.
It's like you can only talk about heartbreak so much.
I can't relate. You know, it's not for me, man. But with that being said, that's straight facts. Thank you so much for coming out, man. I appreciate it. The whole cast appreciate it, man. Thank
No
you.
problem. Thank
know
you
what
for
to look
having
out
me.
for.
Yeah, man. Check me out, Fletcher G. You can find me on
What are the
Instagram.
socials? Yeah, go for it.
Instagram, it's Fletcher G, ITSFLETCHERG. I know I said it quick, but let me slow it down for you. FLETCHERG. You can find me on Twitter, same handle. Find me on Facebook, same handle. Like, it's easy. It's Fletcher G.
Well, folks, breaking news. Yes, the Brooklyn Nets just lost to the Boston Celtics. Can you believe it?
They have so many pieces on that team. They shouldn't lose.
I guess my only question is, who do you blame?
Everybody. You blame everybody. You stop paying these guys these wages.
Right.
And then whatever you take away, let's say we take away $10 million, but like, this is in your bonus. Now, if you hit the playoffs and you make those clutch plays, you get this at the end of the year. And then they're going to play for it. I saw the end of the game, they have no heart. So take away their money and let them play for the money.
Okay.
So they're going to play for a harder paycheck because all that money's in that pot. Now, if they don't reach that goal, they don't get that money. Now they know they're going to fight for that money.
Mm-hmm. I guess my question is for you, Fletcher, and Alonso as well. Who would you fire? That's a serious question. That's the $1 million question right there.
Because it doesn't matter whether Steve Nash is there or not.
Sorry to interrupt you. Like Kyrie says, right? He said, we don't need no coach. Well, I just saw the game, and they do need a coach.
They need a coach, but it's if the players don't play for the coach, you don't need a coach, right? So you fire everybody, you take wages away. At the end of the day, you have to start fresh.
Alonso, I'm really interested in what your take on it today.
My take on it, so pretty much, I think you were right that they need to get rid of somebody. It definitely is Steve Nash because he doesn't know how to coach. Okay, you have LaMarcus Aldridge. How tall is he?
LaMarcus?
Yeah, like 6'10", 6'9".
6'10" for sure. 6'10".
So I know you have Claxton because he can move around, he can play defense, but you really think Blake Griffin was the savior to help you? Like, you have players that can actually pick and pop with the Kyrie, right? Because Patty Mills is like, last time I checked, 6'2". He's playing small forwards for defense. Like, everybody can see that Steve Nash does not know how to use his roster. Like, he's lost in the sauce. Like, I don't understand how it took him to game 3 that Blake Griffin, he can play hard. I'm like, my man, you blew the mistake started was game 1. Game 1, they were up.
Right.
And what did they do? Instead of getting to the foul line, the man did a jump shot. Who would draw a play for that?
So what
the chances of that going in, as you saw what happened, right? Don't move. Next thing you know, the series momentum was done for them.
So what do you think about Sean Marks, though, the manager of the Brooklyn Nets? Do you think he deserved to get fired?
No, because at the end of the day, he did his job. He got the players, and as the coach, the coach is the one who lost the locker room, right? Because how you lose the locker room when you get James Harden decide to say, I have a hamstring injury, and then he just dips. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Well, I think
Kyrie, we all knew Kyrie was going to be there for the playoffs. Harden's not dumb.
I think Sean Marks first of all, he took a big risk with the James Harden trade.
Yeah.
He lost LeVert, and that's a good present. He lost. They lost a big center, Jarrett Allen.
Right? Allen had to go regardless.
No, he didn't have to go. He's a top-notch center.
I'll get rid of Jarrett Allen.
He protects the paint.
And
they give Dinwiddie. That's 3 key players that's doing big things in the playoff right now.
Not LeVert though.
LeVert is nice. He's a nice player.
He's at home like with KD too as well.
Who's better than LeVert without naming Kyrie and Kevin Durant in the Brooklyn Nets roster right now?
On the Brooklyn Nets roster?
Right now, who's better than LeVert right now?
Ben Simmons.
Okay.
So you didn't do his research, homie.
So you just
trust you. I was just letting him ask.
Alonso, I know you're not being straight facts right now. Alonso, you're not being straight facts.
Outside of KD cars, like
Alonso, you're not being straight facts. Fletcher, what do you think of what I just said right now? Am I making any sense, or you think Alonso you got the best out of me?
No. You forgot about Ben. It's okay. 5-time All-Star, man.
Are we talking about Rick Simmons here?
Yeah. Last time I checked, Ben Simmons is the reason why, everyone wants to have him on their squad. They just talk shit about him, but they want him on their squad. Trust me.
I do want him to play, but the last time I saw Ben Simmons,
he was on the bench.
He wasn't, and he had that Versace and everything. I'm like, we don't have time for this, man. Anyways, the way I'm looking at it is, at the end of the day, they got swept, right?
Yeah.
I did make some money because I did say Brooklyn was going to lose.
Yeah.
So it is straight facts for today. All right. We back at it again. It's straight facts for you with my boy Fletcher and my main man Alonso. Alonso, how you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Not too bad.
So what's the question today?
The main question today, should the Sixers give James Harden some max contract extension?
Absolutely, they should. Because at the end of the day, I'm all for black men getting money. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, is LeBron James worth what he's getting paid for the Lakers, for what he brings to the organization? So it's like, why not? At the end of the day, if they're willing to give money to these players, get it. Because at the end of the day, someone else is going to get it, right? So it doesn't mean that they're better by getting money. At the end of the day, you got to do something more than just a player. You got to fix the team. One player can never win a championship. Shaq was the most dominant player, but he needed a Phil Jackson, he needed a Kobe Bryant, and he needed a triangle offense. We've seen him in Orlando get swept. I'm just taking it back for y'all. I don't understand that. It doesn't matter how big you are. Even Giannis needed to get Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. You can't win by yourself. So, yeah, I believe he deserves a max contract, but that's not going to save the Sixers. Yeah.
Who's gonna save the Sixers by any chance?
Oh, shit.
That's a good question.
They're going to have to hope that Giannis leaves the East and goes somewhere else, because until Giannis doesn't leave that squad, yeah, you're not beating Milwaukee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think they'll have the pieces in the next 3 years to beat Milwaukee?
Milwaukee has Giannis, who's 26 right now, so he has 7 years before he declines. Yeah, let's see the rest. James Harden is 33, 34. Yeah. Times are rough right now. Yeah? It's looking like that Carmelo journeyman shit right now to get it right. It's tough right now.
Well, let's be honest. James Harden's not going anywhere, and he's obviously gonna take that contract extension there, and that's why they brought him there. So I don't see him going anywhere. He already left Brooklyn because he thought that he was going to win a championship with the Sixers.
Yeah, he was right.
And let's be honest, why did he go to Philly? Who was this guy? Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
The same guy that brought him success in Houston. Why would you leave?
Yeah, but what happened in Houston? It's not like
he got paid. Shout out to those players. He was a 6th man of the year, became MVP. He got paid he was a franchise player.
He also wasted all his money in the strip club, though. But that's another talk. That's another talk. That's all I'm talking, right? I guess so.
I'm just saying, man. Let him get paid, man. At the end, the NBA is never broke again. That's what it stands for. Let's be real. If you're smart with your money, you know how to invest. Yeah, it's never broke again.
You telling me if they give you $10 million, you're not gonna be out there buying a car?
No, man, because you could spend it so quickly. You just have to remember the times that were rough. The times where you're like, I remember nights, when that song, you heard that song, you felt about where you were at that time you heard that. Yeah, so no, trust me. You be broke as you can with that money, man. You act like you still have eat at McDonald's, dollar meals.
I still will.
So, yeah.
Yo,
stay home.
Miami Burger King has burgers for $1. What do you mean?
How long?
What do you mean? $3 iced tea. Which is why I call it dollars, because it's $1. America's living right now. Burgers for $1. Bro, I'm paying $4 for a double cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Welcome to Canada.
A fat boy can't really be a fat boy anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cost him heavy. What happened to the dollar menu in Canada? I'm at 2 cheeseburger Thursdays.
Well, that is straight facts, folks.
Straight facts, back with it again. We got Fletcher, we got Land of Rithia, you already know. Manny Fresh. So today in sports world, Memphis Grizzly guard John Morant won Most Improved Player of the Year award. What are your thoughts on it? And do you think that someone got snubbed, or do you think they got it right?
I don't think they got it right.
Why is that?
Because I know John Morant last year, he still was as flashy, he went hard every year. Yeah. So how is he most improved when he been consistent? You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Do you think they used the record that last year they were 8th seed and now they're 2nd seed in the league? So
it doesn't matter. He's still playing that same type of game, right?
Did he elevate his team?
His team elevated themselves because without the team, he can't get to where he's getting to. Now he's being acknowledged because of the team. Okay. But if he's been consistent at the same type of player, if your players are better than John Morant, has the opportunity to be better as well. Okay. So I think Poole got snubbed because that should have been his.
Okay. What's the difference criteria-wise? Why should Poole get it over? Poole? Are we looking at numbers? What are we looking at?
The way I'm looking at it is, what's his name? John Morant, right? Mm-hmm. What pick was he in the draft? Number 2. Yeah. So we take a number 2 pick.
Is most improved.
And we're saying that
remember Darko Milicic, number 2 pick?
Yeah, we're not talking about
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Number 2 picks means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but he came out hot. He came out hot
Jordan
on a
Poole,
terrible team.
They actually took Jordan Poole and brought him to the G League for a while. Mm-hmm. And he came back, right? And with my man Jordan Poole, since what's his name was injured, right? Klay Thompson was injured, so he started a lot of games for them. Mm-hmm. I think he averaged 12 points a game last year. Mm-hmm. So he currently at 19 points a game right now. Mm-hmm. He was averaging, I think, 1.82 2 assists per game last year. Mm-hmm. Now his assists are at 4.5. Mm-hmm. So what we're seeing from him is he's maturing up as well. He's not just before when I used to see him during the year, he used to take shots and shots. He was trying to do that Steph Curry shit, right? Excuse me about my language. But what we're seeing as well, that he's actually using his teammates and he's playing Golden State Warriors basketball.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And that's why they're doing so well right now in the playoffs.
Okay, so what about Darius Garland? What do you think about his improvement from where he was? Because Cleveland wasn't even like on the radar for making a play-in tournament. Like if you thought about the beginning of the season with the players that they had. At least Golden State, he has Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. You're expected to go to minimum Western Conference. So it's like you're going to shine under a system where they give a lot of attention to those Splash Brothers. So, yeah, of course you're going to shine. I think, like...
You can't say he was going to shine. That's a 50-50 toss-up.
Andrew Wiggins, first-time All-Star, 18.7 points. In the West, by all means, okay? We're not talking about 2002. Talking about 2022, yes.
Okay.
Some players that average more than him in the West did not get a starting position, but I'm not.
But that's on them though.
Okay.
That's on them. They showed up.
It's a political move.
They showed up, right?
Okay.
They were given the opportunity. It's like, let's say if you were given, let's say at your prime, you were given the opportunity. Would you have shined?
Yes.
I know I wouldn't have.
Well,
But you know what I'm saying. But
I didn't hear an answer from Alonzo yet. Would you go for John Morant, Garland, Jordan Poole? What's your thought?
Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. I would go for Garland, man, because like I said, like he ain't got nobody but Kevin Love, who's on the bench, who's actually a champion. The rest of them are just a bunch of players trying to get on. They haven't been to the playoffs. It's their first experience. He really took over the team when Colin Sexton got injured.
Right.
And at the end of the day, no one saw him become an all-star like he was. He was putting in buckets. He was disrespecting the Lakers. You can go see those games. LeBron James at home. They don't need him. You feel me? So, like, I'm just saying nobody expected that. So when you come out of nowhere, I hope next year it's not like a one-year fluke. Like, remember Julius Randle? Yeah. Last year he did his thing, and then this year, where was he? I hope it's not one of those. I hope the guy continues, but yeah, I think I would give it to Garland. Okay. That's straight facts.
Straight facts. I got my boy Fletcher G, I got my boy...
Gigante.
That's how you call yourself these days?
Gigante. You know, I'm feeling cultured, you know? Let's go.
I got a quick question for you guys today. Who is the best artist and producer combo of all time?
Ooh.
that's a tough
I'll
one.
let the artist, you know, he should know. He's better than us. Let's go. Educate us. It's your field.
The best, to my knowledge, you know, is I got two of them. I got Timbaland and Justin Timberlake because they ran a good 5 to 8 years of the music. Whatever they was pumping out the hits. And I'm talking about like billboards, weeks on end. Kanye West and Jay-Z's the same thing when they made a combo together, because remember Kanye was produced for Jay-Z at the beginning. So H to the Izzo was Kanye. So we're like all of us listened to that growing up. So we're influenced. So those are my top two. Like without those two guys and what they did, those two groups, music isn't really what we remember.
I have an opinion, right? I'm an old school guy. You guys know me. I got the afro and everything. What do you think about Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson?
The numbers are there, man.
Numbers are there.
The numbers are there. Would you consider them as the best of all time?
They're in the conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
you can't take them out of it.
But who do you think would challenge them, though?
It depends on the eras of people, right? Like, what generation are we looking at? You know, like Michael Jackson back then was like what Drake is to some of these people. I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying for the young people who are like infatuated with like a big star, that's their guy, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they're on the same level, but everyone has different eras, right? So like 50 Cent could be like, I don't know who he could be today. Maybe it was going to be Pop Smoke, rest in peace. But,
so would you say like in basketball term like Michael Jordan and LeBron James type of thing?
Michael Jordan was Kobe Bryant, I feel. And then I would say LeBron James was Scottie Pippen, but way better.
Okay.
Yeah, way better. Yeah, Scottie Pippen with Penny Hardaway mentality. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Alonso? You still didn't tell me your choice, though.
It's tough. I would have said that too because of the numbers, because those numbers you can't beat them.
Right.
I would say you have. It could be anywhere. It could be like the ones the producers that did. Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. I'm gonna take it back to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg for sure for the West.
Okay.
Okay.
That's just a whole wave of music, the Chronic and whatever came after that, Death Row and all that. That would be one of my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the East Coast, you can't go wrong with what you gonna do? Rough Riders and DMX. Like
Okay.
those are my
Okay.
favorites. Rough Riders the whole time. Five-time #1 albums.
It was the good old days. The good old days.
You know what I mean? Like when there was no video cameras and everything.
Nope.
You know what I mean? We was we had peace. We were mentally strong. So that's what it is. Yeah.
All
That's
right.
what I said.
Well, this is Straight Facts, folks, and subscribe.